Well, Trainer, most people, when you think about the insole of a boot, it just means that's what you're standing on, but that's not exactly true, is it?
No, it's not at all. Paul, we take an insole, we cut it exactly to fit the last it's going to use. Bear in mind that if a person wears a 9D and wants a round toe, it's a different last. They want a pointed toe, it's a different last. And then a 9D and a 9B and a 9A all have different size lasts. So we have to cut these insoles out by hand. They're cut in leather. Most companies, just about all the footwear companies I know of, use a fiberboard insole. Then they put a heavy canvas ribbing right here they'll sew their welt to. We cut a channel, and I'll show you what that channel's for in just a minute. We cut a channel that you actually stick. Now see, I can't get this darn thing to give up. That you actually sew the welt to right there.
Okay, so that's called a channel leather.
It's called a channel leather welt, and there's hardly anybody still doing this anymore. And in a little bit, I'll show you what a nice thin profile it gives you. But also, we buy the best leather we can. We buy shoulder leather because it's got longer, stringier fibers, and it makes this channel hold its own so the welt doesn't rip out. Lionel's been with us for a long time. He's one of our line supervisors. He also handles the insole department, and he cuts all the cuts the pieces out with a 10-ton clicker, and then we'll walk up here and he'll put the channel in there for you.
Well, Trainer, you said something about this. Is this where it's channeling the insole?
Yeah, it is.
Got the compressors going and
got the compressor going, got the machine going. This channeling actually serves two purposes. When I told you about that canvas rib, I don't know if you all remember the old Ford pickup ads, but they talk about torsion bar, and that rib acts just like a torsion bar. It won't allow your foot to flex. By having this channel in the actual insole, it's a flexible boot. You'll notice when you put our boot on, as you walk, it's real soft and
so it basically takes away break-in time as well, right?
Exactly, right. Now, once we've cut the insole and tacked it on, it comes over here to this department.
Okay. And this is basically where it's lasted, correct?
Right, and this is where it's lasted. It's got the channel in the bottom. These particular boots are going to have a cushion insole. We put that in there. Now we'll take that out and throw it away and put a real cushion insole in, but that gives you the spacer so you keep a true size.
Trainer here, he's lasting the boot, am I right?
And when we say that a boot's hand lasted, as you can see, it truly is hand lasted. He's got to get that boot pulled down over the last and the insole, and he has to be sure that his side seams match up on the bottom, that any points up the back and up the front of the boot match up, and then if it has a medallion or it's an exotic leather, that all of the stitching or the quills are the same distance from the toe. They don't turn right, don't turn left. It has no wrinkles in it. And then he has to mirror that with the other boot. We're not just making one boot at a time, but we're making pairs, and they have to look exactly like each other. This man is a master.
What's he taking out of his mouth?
He's taking tacks out of his mouth. He'll put tacks in his mouth about twice a day, and sometimes he takes them out when he eats lunch, and sometimes he doesn't. If there's anybody watching this show that would like to come down here and take Ismael on at an arm wrestling match, I'll take Ismael.
I'll tell you what.
Here you go. You'll also notice when they come out, they're head out so that he sticks them right in.
So he's kind of pre-shaping the boot there.
Yeah,
and just kind of
getting it where it fits on the last. He'll go back once that leather's stretched, and he'll put his glue in to hold it down. there'll be tacks sticking all out of it. And once that glue dries, we can take the tacks out and sew the welt to it. You don't realize what you're looking at, but if those side seams aren't exactly even on both sides, you'll feel it on your foot. The boot will feel just a little uncomfortable. It'll walk a little crooked. Many times you just buy a pair of footwear and you luck out because everything falls into place. With us, it's done that way on purpose.
Well, trainer, I guess it's a welting machine, is that right?
It is a welding machine. A lot of people use a Goodyear welt. Ours is a little bit different since we use that channel insole. But the stitch it's throwing in there is just like a feed bag. It's a lock stitch. It doesn't have a bobbin thread to go in and hook. It goes in, throws like throwing a half hitch and a half hitch, like a feed bag.
Okay.
Once you start it, you can come back loose with it. That also adds to the flexibility. We don't have this tight stitch in there that keeps that sole from flexing, but it allows it to flex as you walk, and it will not come apart. This machine is, I think, was built in 1903 or 1904.
Wow.
We've got an excellent mechanic, Rolando, that keeps all these things running. And the other thing, if anybody here has been around these things, they'll notice how quiet it is. That's what a well-oiled and well-adjusted machine is supposed to sound like. Normally, you can't talk when you're standing next to one of these things. Once that welt is gone in there, and we have sewn through the insole, through the box toe, through the lining, and through the vamp. This is basically the heart of the boot. This welt is sewn through that channel I showed you about. It's sewn through the lining, through the vamp, through the box toe, and through the insole. And this is really what holds everything together, right there. This is the very heart of the boot. The other thing you'll notice is I told you about the profile of the boot. You see how nice and slim that is? If this was built on fiberboard with that canvas ribbing, the foot of this boot would be another 1/4 inch thicker, and it really shows up.
So the welt serves what purpose in a boot? You said it puts everything together?
It holds everything together. This is what you attach your sole to.
Okay.
Now you notice that this is a 3/4 welt. We stop here short. In a little bit you'll see we actually peg the arch because you've got a heel nailed on. You got your sole stitched on, but from here to here you need something to hold that in place and also put it up against the foot. We'll have a steel shank in here. This really is the one part you cannot do without. They've got to be welted together. They've got to be sewn on the welt.
Okay, trainer, where are we at now? What are we fixing to do here?
We put the welt on the boot. We've set the welt and got it all nice and flat. Josh here is put in a spring steel shank right in the arch of the foot, and that's for all you fellas that still do shovel work. Also, guys that are riding oxbow stirrups. That steel shank is invaluable. It'll kill your foot if you don't have it. Once he does that, there's an odd thing about sole leather. It doesn't glue to itself very well. And we take a piece of heavy canvas and glue the insole of the heavy canvas, then glue the sole of the heavy canvas. And that's what holds everything together. When you take our boots in for new soles and heels, the best recommendation we can get is when you talk to a repairman, he'll tell you this boot's made the way it's supposed to be made. All right. Then he'll put a sole on, which is what he's done here. Press it down. Looks like everything I'm picking up is a fancy boot with an inlay on it. He'll press the sole down. Now this is ready for pegging. We'll move on to the pegging area.